This conference will now be recorded.
There you go. Karla, what's up, Karla?
Oh,
Karla, you're muted. No. You gotta unmute yourself.
I am ever so grateful for the last 2 days in the Polarities Integration because I have seen a huge shift for the last 3 days. And it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm so grateful, really. I wish, guys, you could have joined us, but don't miss it for the next time.
I would imagine a lot of them were actually, like before on that workshop. It's funny. Like I just love my brain really. She goes like, I didn't want. I'm so thankful for the last 2 days. I'm like, what the? I don't know what she's talking about. Like that was so last weekend. It's Wednesday today, But I guess since Saturday was last day of the workshop, and you had like 3 days or so of new experiences, new life of some. So it's really awesome to hear that. Beautiful.
I will share with you offline.
Cool stuff. And I'm so blissfully, as in blissful, I forgot about it already. That was like workshop, like so last week, like ages ago.
Oh, forget about it so quickly, Robert.
No, you stay in your space. That's cool. I'm just saying, for me, it's like I keep getting surprised or amazed by my own ability to forget everything that happened like 2 hours ago. So speaking of that, my day was ridiculous today in terms of time. Everything that could happen happened, kind of thing, and I only just made it to the office today, as in like I should have been here early this morning, but I just made it back. So many stuff to do, and then on my way back there was this roadblocks. What do you call them? We had, I don't know which prince or from where came to visit, and they blocked half of the city for this VIP to pass through the highway from the airport or whatever. So whole city is like, you don't know where to drive, like, because you know what I mean? I'm sure this happens in Dubai as well, when they just block everything and you can just hope that sometime soon you'll pass through, that kind of thing. So I had all those weird experiences, and maybe for the first time in a long time, I had a little bit of, I call it me time in this context, because guys, my office, my man cave, my studio is literally 5-6 minutes away from my home. So I don't get what I used to have in South Africa, and just kind of pulled me back. Who says I don't remember stuff? You see, there's a memory right there. I remember when I used to drive for an hour and a half to go to work, and I really, like, while everyone's complaining about traffic and traffic jam, and I really remember fondly that time, because I had every day 3 hours of alone in the car where I could play that seminar I haven't managed to make time for, or listen to this audio thing, that audio thingy. I was really using it instead of reading a book, for example. I would literally just play all sorts of audios that I don't get time to, and I was spending it as a quality time. So I just realized that I don't have that anymore in my life, because I don't get to drive long, if that makes sense. So today, instead of freaking out about all of this, I really kind of just immersed myself into my little world, meaning my car, and had all sorts of memories like this of, hey, life used to be very different in this context for me. So that's the only thing I can tell you. Otherwise, if I didn't know better, I would be freaking out right now in terms of my time. So rumor has it, this call may just as well be one of those shorter ones. I know you don't know what shorter calls looks like, but think that I actually promised like an hour call, not 2.5 hours like every week. So let's see how it goes. I'm obviously, so at some point, unless there is any urgent matters, I'm gonna excuse myself and say, guys, I gotta go. I have a ton of to-dos on my side. So let me not take away anything else from your time. What's up? I believe that I had one question from Kim. Is Kim with us? Not yet. So let's say maybe she shows up later on. Who else then? Because I'm pretty open at the moment. Who has a question? What are we doing today? It's like, after what you just said, I don't want to ask you anything. Please go along with your day. Do your business. I didn't mean it in any funny way. I'm just giving you heads up. So if it's an hour and I go, hey, it's time to go, you get that. Because guys, since we started this, the deal was once a month, 1 hour, and it's been traditionally 2 hours plus every week. But I'm enjoying it a lot, so I'm keeping it this way. I'm just saying, if I draw some boundaries today, please understand I'm like super delayed on my side, on my plate. So let me not speak about stuff. What's up? What are we discussing today? What's new? Either what's new or what questions do you have? How can I help you? How can I serve you? All right, so when I said it's a quick call today, I really meant it. So guys, I'll see you next week. Guys, I'm thinking Kim will probably show up, and I'd rather speak to a person than about what she said. So I don't want to go there. I'm hoping she actually shows up still. It looks like Anthias just joined the call, or at least his camera just popped in front of me. That should mean like, hey, something deep is going to happen today. What else? There was somebody else. No, I don't think I have anything scheduled in terms of questions. Guys, this is getting awkward. Are you like, are we just gonna look at each other? I mean, we can. I mean, I'm okay. Simona is my dearest neighbor that I ever had. How are you doing, Simona?
Great. How are you? I do my part integration with your person.
She mentioned this in a recent message with my wife. She's like, you know, in my world, there are two Roberts. And I'm reading this. I'm like, where is this going? She says, there's this Robert in English that I see every week. We hang out very often. Every week I see him on the call. And there's this Robert in Serbian, meaning when we together, we speak Serbian, obviously not English. So there's this Robert in Serbian, and I don't see him very often. And she means ever.
But I understand and I love you.
If I had more time, I would comment on that message, but I'm giving you comments now. All good at home?
Yes, everything's perfect here.
All right. How do you like my background, Simona?
It's new. It looks like winery. So I wait to invite me there. I'm coming on next call to be in live.
You want me to whine about anything?
Yes, yes.
By the way, it's so hot here. Can you do the aircon, please? I don't know if that's happened since I got on the call or it's just hot. The geeky me manages somehow to find time to play with new toys and things. So me and Nenad here, we're just playing around with all sorts of geeky stuff. Cool. So I kind of used Simona to save me out of this awkwardness of just staring at those cameras and being silent. But I can do that. Look, I can just like look at you actually. I'm looking at you right now, specifically, just you. Because it's funny. Usually I look not in the camera because all of you are in front of me, and then my eyes keep wandering around. But it's different when I do this, isn't it?
Are you hypnotizing us, Robert, so we can finish the call fast?
Yeah, that's too late for you.
I have a question. I have a question,
yes,
Robert.
Simona, please.
Yes, my question is where is refresher in November and where? Because I tried to ask you that earlier. Do you have that info now?
Do I have what for now?
Info for refresher in November, master refresher.
Okay. So master coach refresher, not coach refresher.
Yes, master
okay.
coach.
Cool. Normally, all my questions about those matters, like call Corina, just ask her. As in, like, I mean, not at this point, I'll take any question, okay? Because this crowd is like, is it too late to in Dubai right now? You guys are like asleep already. Because when we meet at our normal hour, you guys are like, there's just not enough. There's always so much questions. So Simona, I don't know. I can look at the calendar and tell you what I think will happen, what my timeline looks like. Okay, let me see. So apparently we are starting on 6th October. That's coach training though. Master coach training would start on 17th.
17th
November. Yeah. So 17th November is master coach beginning. It ends on 30th. Okay, so kind of that side of the November, but I'm also there for coach training, which starts on 6th to 15th. At this moment,
do you know location or still not because of booking of?
Still no, because you see, this is this part now. It's in my timeline. It's on calendar. I'm hoping to board the plane sometime late October and just go and do my thing. All sorts of things can happen in the meantime, though, with our uncertain times about regulations and flights and God knows what else, right? So I have best intention to show up, and I'm going to call even earlier just to, like, I don't know, avoid any, you know, if there's an issue, that at least I'll have time to solve it, if you know what I mean. So I'm pretty confident, given the current landscape, I'm showing up, I'm coming. And there's more chance for me to show up for master coach training than coach training, because that gives me another half a month to make a plan. If I need to fly to Thailand and then stream back, there's plenty of time for me to make it for the master coach. Guys, all jokes aside, it looks all good as we scheduled. We are acting as if it's 100%. The only thing that I don't have 100% yet nailed down in terms of decision is the venue. So I know you kind of want to book the hotel and whatever, but just hold on a few more days. Corina is chasing me, much like some other friends, but I'm not budging. I'm still in my zone. Like I said, I'm super busy on this side. So as soon as I get to give her half an hour of my day, we're gonna go and see, okay, well, those are the options, and this is what I'm choosing. That kind of thing. We just need to make a decision. There's few options, a little bit of variety from my side. I want to try something new. Hotel, the DoubleTree that we are most commonly at in JBR, that one has some really heavy limitations in terms of the legalities, or should I say restrictions. I think they let us have only 15 or 18 people, including us, in the room. So that's like a big bummer from my perspective. So I was looking for other opportunities. The other Hilton there, they couldn't take us, but now they can. So that's another option. And then I told, Corina, go and check a couple of options, come back to me, give me a little options to choose from. So I'm kind of attached to that side of Dubai, man. I like my beach at night, and I don't know, there's some memories, I guess, there, and attachments and things. So I would prefer it to be on the beach, but it really doesn't have to be. So maybe we try something totally new. One of my billionaire clients, they have their own hotel nearby, and they've been not begging me, but like twisting my hand for a long time for me to move my business there now, right? And I'm like, well, there is no beach. I like my beach, like I said. So maybe it happens. Maybe I'll go and check them out. Corina did all the scouting. She prepared stuff. I just didn't look at it yet. So as soon as I have it, I guess I'll let you know, and I don't know, whoever else needs to know. Dates are set. Dates are not really gonna, unless some crazy stuff happens. Yeah. All right. There you go. I can do admin. You see. This is going to be one of those interesting calls.
Robert,
Do you want to demonstrate silence? This is Anthias. Go for it, buddy.
if you can keep the crowd entertained for 5 minutes, I've got a couple of very interesting questions. I just can't turn my camera on yet.
Okay. You mean like, buddy, I'm here. I have a question. I'm coming. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Please do.
Cool.
Awesome stuff. I'm just weirded out that I think Katka had a question, but then she also had time issues, so I don't know if she's going to make it at all. So I'm ignoring that until she shows up. Kim is not here, and she has. Let me read Kim's questions. At least I'll have an idea. Could I do it without her, kind of thing? I have a question or need more advice, really. I have 100% confidence in my interview coaching skills. By the way, she has a business where she helps other people do interviews better. In other words, if you're looking for a job and you got to go through whatever interview processes, apply for jobs, she's like expert in helping you nail that interview, nail that, get that position, get that job. So she coaches people, unlike a lot of you guys life coaches. She coaches people it's a very niche kind of thing. So she helps them do this properly. So she's kind of a mentor rather than a coach in my world. But also, guess what happens with those clients? Once they know what to do and what needs to be done, confidence kicks in, this doubt, that doubt, so room for coaching. And then she helps them overcome those things as well. So she mixed a little bit of coaching with those expert advices, really, and things that are super useful for people in that situation. So I'm giving you context so you have an idea, because when I say my interview coaching skills, who knows what you make of it. So I know this because I see the difference I make with people I have helped so far. I face doubt at times on two aspects. Number one, price I'm putting for my package, as I get people saying, oh, but 6K, and 6K, I believe this is in dirhams, is a lot. I wouldn't pay for this, as in it's too much money for this. And sometimes it messes with my head. Then I decide, no, I know my worth, and I know my services are of great value for people that needed it. So she's sometimes doubting, I guess, her own prices, or questioning her prices, to say the least. Okay, let me read the second one. The second one says, I wonder if I need more practice on the coaching aspect. This is my opinion, not someone who recommended it. Although I also see people opening up easily with me and being very grateful for the session. I think it's my own mind saying, have I prepared enough on the coaching part only? So my question is, how can I stop these occasionally crippling doubts messing with me? I know this affects my energy and therefore get things stuck instead of moving to the right direction. So Kim, as you kind of, well, she's not here, but she says she watches every replay, so I'm going to honor that. More RSs on the call, by the way, in case you missed it. So Kim, you kind of classified it yourself as well. Anytime when we are not congruent, anytime when we have at the moment doubts, but really any incongruencies, when our thinking, our state, our behavior, and therefore our results are not matching the same story. So you could be 80% confident, 20% sometimes kind of questioning your own worth or whatever. That's incongruency. Okay, so for me, congruence is something when it's 100% there. Now, that's not to say that you're supposed to be this way or that way. I'm just saying that if you look at results, one's congruence really matters. And it's good that you have enough self-awareness to recognize when those crippling thought patterns comes in, or as you call them, or doubts, because they do sabotage you and they are going to mess with your energy, and the frequency you're emitting and all that kind of stuff is always affecting. However, what we don't know is what's your percentage, how often you're here, how often you're there, because all you can ever tell me is of the thoughts that you were aware of at the time. Because I believe that we have, God knows, 95% of our thinking we're not even conscious of. Okay, so at the times when you were conscious, those things came up and you wanted to bring it up and do something about it. So guys, if you're ever aware of any doubts, the task is stop the car safely, do the session, delete that limiting belief, or write it down so you can do it the moment you get home or in a safer place, really. Because doubts, they come in. If you're empowered and whatnot, you tend to just dismiss it because you know better. But that's not a way. I don't think I told you ever. You know, when there is a problem, just dismiss it. Just pretend it's not there. You know, be stronger than that. I don't remember that anywhere in any of my manuals, right? Instead, the suggestion is to go and delete that and overcome that so it stays away. You know, so you can get rid of it once and for all. Now, Kim has done my online life coach course, I think. Kim doesn't know timeline. She doesn't have those other fancy changes and those things. So Kim, the best tool you do have is to do a belief change, the one that you have, and treat doubts as limiting beliefs, or find a belief behind that doubt so that you can clean your system up and stop having those crippling thoughts. I was asked rather recently, maybe yesterday or the day before, and this was so cute. One of my business coaching clients asked me this, like, you know, just almost like a side question, because there was like this other interaction. And it's like, hey, do you think I'm too expensive? Like, do you think I'm like, you know, that she charges too much? And I loved my response. My response was instant. I just went, no. And I don't know, energetically, I really felt freaking awesome about that response. It almost like it said so much in these two characters. It wasn't like, no, because blah, 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 blah. You know, like, no rationalization. Well, am I too expensive? No. That was the end of the discussion. And I can only hope she enjoyed it as much as I did, because I really meant it. Kim, I'm not talking about you, obviously, but your topic is there. That's why it comes up. 6K for what you offer. I can't tell you if it's too expensive, really. I can tell you if it's too expensive from my model of the world, being in my body with my needs. Okay, I'm so not your ideal client to even, for my opinion, to even matter. Okay, because it, guys, any value of anything whatsoever is being, should I say, filtered through your values, through what you think is important. So if you are somebody who's a student and looking for the first job, and you go, you know, interview, help, whatever, and Kim shows up and she's charging 6,000 dirhams for her session, or maybe it's dollars, really, I'm not 100% sure about this. If that's what you charge, and I think that student will probably go, oh, fuck, like I'll never pay this much for it. It's like too expensive. People are very quick concluding things are too expensive, and yet they're really looking from their own model of the world and from their own financial situation and things like that. So If somebody else, let me give you a contrast, if you're a deal client, which I'm pretty clued up of who that is for Kim, if this is somebody in a senior position in another company and they're looking for exit and they're planning to get this other job in this other company or an even better position, right? To transition, to upgrade their career for an even better position. That person will pay 6K like this if you can sell it to him, if he can see what he'll get from that. If that increases his chance amongst whatever competition he has for that job, dude, he'll part with that money like so easily because of his model of the world. So I'm not even in position to comment your prices really, other than whatever I think, given my perception of your ideal client or audience. This is a good price. You just need to stick with what you feel it's worth. But guys, I almost didn't want to say that, because what comes from that is this whole other things we talked about just now. If in any of you, never mind Kim, if you can't own your own prices, good luck selling it. Good luck selling it. If you don't own it, if you don't believe in it yourself, how are you gonna really sell it to someone else? So Kim, for you as a task, even get rid of this stuff, as in align yourself from within. And I don't care if you're gonna get rid of whatever doubts and really own your pricing, or you change your pricing then. Because right now, like this, you're not gonna get any clients. But if you lower it to 3K of whatever currency this is, but you believe so much in 3K, then you probably close some clients. Because like this will come through as all this unconscious communication, we call it. And you guys know that 55% of all your meaning of your communication is this unconscious communication, physiology. Remember from standard NLP even, we have 55 for body talk, or should we say unconscious analog communication. We have 38% for the tonality of our voice. And then words are just 7%, right? So this unconscious stuff will always come through. That's where one can see congruency or not. So I need you to either own your prices and own your shit, or adjust your prices so that you can at least own what you're saying and close some clients. For me, there's no problem with either version, because technically speaking, you just need to sell some. And when you sell some, you're going to feel that and deliver that, get some feedback, and all that's going to happen. And then when you get booked out, you're going to go, hey, I'm working so much, but I want more. And then I guess you're going to start changing your prices. I went through a stage of my life as a coach where I've been raising my prices so freaking slowly over years, really, until I figured out something much deeper. It just happened for me, boom, and I literally doubled my prices. And guys, I don't know where you're coming from and what your prices are, or whatever it is that you do, if you even charge for your time. Doubling your fees is a big ass step in terms of all this internal congruency stuff. Okay, it takes a lot to say. I don't care what, if you charge 500 and now next day you go to next client, you go, it's 1,000. Like it's a weird thing to do, I think, for us. And good news is that you just gotta do it once. You're gonna say it once, get over the weirdness about it, and God help you if that person says yes. Because if they say yes, as in like the sign up for the thing, oh dude, you're gonna get so comfortable so quickly with this new pricing structure. Is that making sense? Or you'll get a no and you're gonna go, I knew it, I screwed up, at least I could have, and all those doubts and all the stuff, other stuff kicks in. For me, if you're gonna do coaching, or let me be more specific, this doesn't apply 100% to Kim. If you're gonna do my kind of coaching, in so many ways, you're in a business of helping your clients create the life of their dreams. As cliche as it sounds, I think it's exactly what you're doing. Okay, if you're thorough, if you're doing the whole coaching package kind of thing. So what's it worth to them is the question, not what you think it's worth. Who's your audience? Who are you talking to? And those things. So why don't we start with you? Isn't it best to, what's the best approach? To go into the market of your niche, if there is market there, and you go and compare your fees with others, or you study everyone else's fees and then decide what your fees are going to be, so you can be, should I say, relevant in the market? Is that how you approach this topic? Or do you approach the topic, hey, what's the life of my dreams about? What would my perfect average business day be like? Remember that exercise in a different context? What's that like? Are you going to coach Monday to Friday, or Sunday to Thursday, whatever works for you? Are you going to coach every day, all day long? Are you going to coach just Mondays and just Thursdays? I don't know. But what would you love your day to be like? What would you love your week to be like? Never mind month, right? We can do this like weekly as a plan. What days do you want to coach? How many hours per day you want to spend coaching? Those are the questions you should be asking yourself, not what others are charging. You're blessed with an industry that really can't have the norm. Coaches out there charge literally from nothing to $100 to, you know some people who charge $10,000 per hour for the coaching, the kind of coaching you do. Who's crazy there? I don't know, but one is comfortable with this life, one is comfortable with that life. One can sell this, one can't sell it. It becomes, more on the marketing stuff in terms of that. But guys, it's also your ownership. If you can't own your fees, nothing's going to happen really. So in my mind, how I would go about this, if this is a setup for the beginning, I would literally design my own week. Because guys, if you're running this as a business, you need to have this you got to understand the business, that your business is not just coaching. That's where you get to deliver your product. But if you're an entrepreneur and you're starting this one-man show and this is your business and you're like the only person in the company, well, guess what? You got some other business needs that need to be filled in. Okay, that's when we kind of say one-man show, right? You got to do marketing, you got to do sales, you got to do all sorts of other business stuff. And part of what you do is also delivering your coaching promise, delivering your package, your services, and that all takes time. So you can't go like, hey, my perfect ideal week is from Monday to Friday. I'm coaching 8 hours a day. I'm like, when are you going to run the business? When are you going to get those clients to begin with if all you do is coaching, right? So you got to plan out how many hours per day are billable coaching hours in your day, in your week, okay? Once you have that, then you go, okay, let's say I'm just starting. I'm not talking about my dream life, but hey, what is a reasonable, acceptable, nice life that I could create fairly soon with this business? How much money do I need per week or per month for me to earn in order for my life to work out so I get to do what I love doing, live my passion, before I double my prices and things? I mean, just to make this work from the gates. That number divided by the number of hours that are billable hours in your week is what your fees should be per hour if you're going to do this per hour thing, not what others are charging. I hope that makes sense, because I would want you as a new businessman here to start this out with, hey, I'm not going to sell to clients, I'll help you create the life of your dreams, even though I work like a slave here with a less salary than what I had when I was in corporate. Do you guys know what I mean? How about starting with your own life and creating the life of your dreams first? Not first, along the way. But having that target, having that focus, and coming up with your prices that are justifiable in terms of, if I'm going to make this work, I got to charge at least this much. Then start with that, and it's easy once you're booked out and stuff to double your prices or change your fees. When I understood this, that's exactly what I did. It changed my life completely. But I had to double my prices to begin with, because I was working, guys, I was full. I had clients all the time, okay? Again, because of my marketing and whatever else, all the skills I brought to the table. But the idea is, I was fully booked from beginning. And man, at some point, I still love what I do, and it's energizing. However, when it's 10 p.m. and I've seen, fourth client today, my 3-hour sessions, man, I just collapsed. There was no life. There was no, let me say it this way. There was nothing left for my wife. I just kind of like, it was like, I just collapsed on the bed. Bam. I'll still tell her, I loved my day. Look what happened. Look what happened. Like, I would have that relationship with what I do, but I was exhausted and still just paying the bills kind of thing. So when I understood this, I changed my pricing structure. I doubled my fees, and people still saying yes. I'm like, wow, okay. And I think 2 months later, I doubled it again, and I kept doubling it since. So today I have a fee that's not easy to afford, but then again, I don't need clients. I want clients who are a perfect match for me and the way I value my time. Guys, I'd rather work on my business than coach for some, let's call it peanuts, if that makes sense. I'd rather build my business than spend an hour with somebody for that kind of money. Plus, I don't feel I need to. I think my contribution in this world and whatever hallucinations I have that are happening through ripple effects of what you guys do with your clients, like, I don't have this burning need like I used to, that I have to coach somebody today. plus given environment I created through masterclass and through other little vehicles I have, I'm coaching all the freaking time. You know, like, so I really don't feel that need. I have to have private clients every day. I really don't have that. My aim was to create a couple of those private clients that keep me on retainer. And that's my monthly income from that perspective. That's fairly steady and secure. And I show up for them like an hour a month or twice a month, depending which package they took. And that's all the security I needed in terms of the steady kind of flow of cash flow. We call it income, right? My coaching institute, all the other tools I have is just other streams of income, and it's nice to be in a position like that. But you got to start thinking business. And if you can't think business because nobody trained you, then you got to find a model, a role model, a mentor to teach you some of the business stuff that you can actually apply in your business and start thinking business. It's like easy to say, like, start thinking business, like, okay, how? You know, so use those calls if you want, and ask me any questions, including business questions. I show up here and I'm happy to guide you in whatever capacity I can. I guess I wouldn't let it be always just business, because some of my hearty friends here are looking for some other conversations would feel left out. So I'll balance out things as much as I can. All right. Frankly, I forgot what the question was, or even who asked the question. I don't know who asked this question. What was the question? God knows. but I trust it was spot on, or whatever some of you needed to hear today. Anthias, you're back with the camera. You want to take over?
Yes.
Yes. Hello, manga.
Sometimes I forget and I want to speak to you in Greek. I forget that you're not Greek.
Dude, that's all Greek to me.
Hello, this is Rupa here.
Oh, guys, Rupa is on the call. Can you imagine on a call without Rupa? Our bottomless Rupa.
Hello.
That was a nickname back in the training. So, Anthias, what's up, buddy?
I almost don't want to change the subject. That was very enlightening for me.
Good to know. Okay.
However,
here we go. Let me take the position. I'm gonna lie down.
So, regarding, we've got I had a little project going on. I have,
okay.
And with you, obviously, I'm just saying it out loud. So,
I think that's past tense, but do carry on.
Nah, it's not.
Not
necessarily. So, I'm looking at what's going on with the collective. It's been very interesting for me for a long time. I've always been inspired to get into politics or collective movements. And a couple of questions are coming up. One of them is regarding the structure of society, how it is. Most governments, from what I've noticed around the world, the government structures and institutions are pretty corrupt.
Okay.
Personally, when I don't watch the news anymore, whenever it happens that I'm gonna watch the news for a moment or listen to something on the news, I feel angry. I feel angry. Now, is that anger justified? I get over it pretty quickly, but it could lead me to an urge to do something, to start a movement, a collective movement. All these things that a lot of people talk about. We need change. We need to do this. We need to do that. This guy's corrupt. That institution isn't working properly. But I don't know how it is around the world. In Cyprus, no one really does anything about it. They have their suvla every Sunday. They talk about it over their suvla, which is a barbecue, for those who don't know. And this guy does that, and that guy does that, and this is this, and this is like that, and it should be like this. And then Monday they go back to their daily lives, their routines, and they just go along and along and along. Does change happen without us in that sense, collective change? Or no, rather my question is, where do we start getting together collectively to bring about changes externally, or is that not even necessary? If we merely raise our own frequency and our own standard of thinking and feeling, is that enough by itself without having to do anything directly with the collective and with the external to change the world for everyone?
So that wasn't dramatic pause. That's the question. So my turn.
Yeah. Do we do
It's
something?
with
Do
you, I don't
we?
know. I just usually leave it a little bit, few more seconds.
Did you get the question?
Yeah, I think I did. I think I did. So I guess I can pitch you with two answers. And mind, when I say answer, it's not like, hey, here's the answer. I mean, my thinking, right? I can give you an answer from two levels for now. I can give you from many, but obviously just these two are quite contrasted to each other. On a lower level of thinking, I can tell you a couple of comments that I think some of the other guys will find useful as well. When somebody gets angry about things that are happening in my country, in my society, on my planet, never mind in our little community of apartments. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter the scale. The idea is that when something upsets you, okay, question is it warranted or not? Okay, that's something you said earlier on that triggered this for me. So for me, it's warranted to feel angry at certain situations, and in some it isn't. Okay, sometimes anger can serve you, I guess, and give you all extra adrenaline and things like that. Maybe it even saves your life in certain situations. Maybe there is a moment when you gotta defend yourself and fight. Even though it's kind of weird for me, like a side note, I don't even know if I were to fighting for my life, I don't think I'll choose anger. I think I'm trained for different stuff, if that makes sense. From martial arts and things, they never told us, hey, get really angry and pump yourself up. No, it's supposed to be still and fully present so that your responses are way quicker rather than no access to intelligence and all those things that anger or fear does for us. So, but I'm trying to paint a more common picture. If somebody gets angry, let's say you get angry, you said, I get over it quickly. But there are moments when I just get charged with those things that keep popping up on my screen. So if I was your coach, I would go, hey, is it warranted? And if you tell me it's unwarranted, then we go to look for some things and help you overcome certain things, because if it's not warranted and it bugs you, let's change that. But if it is warranted in your mind and you're strongly, passionately feeling like somebody has to do something about this, then yeah, we can even take that as motivation for you to kick in, sorry. Hold on. We can even use that as motivation for you to get off your bum and fucking do something about it. Unlike all the other guys who are just talking about it over Suvla, that's something else. For you know, and actually be that guy, make the change, become the politician. All I know, go through whatever channels you feel like you should, and run for a politician, for example. That can happen this way. Anytime you're driven by passion, I want to support that. So question is, are you angry? And that gets you to be passionate about making the difference in the world or in your community and doing something about it. I support that. You see, so that's that lower level thinking, as in, hey, that's how things are done. And I don't mean that it has to be done through violence or some riots or just different hows, obviously, in terms of how to go about this. I'm just saying, you know, we say take action and do something about it. Some people would naturally think, oh, let's start a riot. You know, I'm not implying any violence is necessary. I'm just saying, whatever the vehicle is, if you're passionate, if you're excited internally about doing something like that, and dude, this is not the first time I hear you in the context between our chats, whatever, that this politics stuff, in my mind, it could let me use another, you know, not another one, Anthias over there, who I don't know how corruptible you would be, but the idea is that it looks like you actually care and give a shit, and maybe we need more politicians like that. You know, so I'd love to see you in Cyprus politics and making a change and you know, helping motivate other people, I guess, that because here's the thing, when you also mentioned collective, dude, people are so uneducated, or maybe a gentler word is they're so unaware. People are so busy surviving, really. I'm generalizing, guys. I'm talking about vast, or should I say, majority of population. People are just surviving against meat. And I don't mean just hunger. I mean really from problem to problem. How do I say this? All, or let's say most, majority of all our media is censored, from internet to TV. We just don't see it that way. We don't know all those things. And we are constantly fed fear, 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 fear. All the scary tactics, because for as long as they keep you scared, you're not going to be thinking outside of your family, outside of your nest, because you're too busy taking care of and worrying about your immediate environment. So it's a very nice, easy way to keep the masses in check, because people are just constantly afraid and therefore can't access intelligence or clear thinking or do anything constructive from those states. Okay, so people are unaware of that this is even happening. Although I would imagine nowadays everybody's almost aware of, on some level, about those things. In fact, I've been seeing for the last 2 decades, really, I'm seeing such a beautiful, gigantic wave of awakened people all over the world. As in literally waves, masses of people are just awakening up to, as in beyond job, salary, survival, as in, and they start asking questions and things like that. So obviously, given in the industry that I'm in, and flying all over the world and doing this in different training rooms, if you know me, different people, I get this sense, but I'm immersed in it. So that's my reality, but you're not going to see that on TV. On TV, you're going to see all the bad news, and you don't really get a channel with good news, do you? You know, unless you plug yourself into the RSCI masterclass once a week. That's a good channel to watch. So in my mind, those people, they need one Anthias to shows up and say, hey guys, wake up, this is what's going on, and then this is how we're going to go about it, and like, let's do this. You know what I mean? People need to be led. Those guys, they need the leader. So you're either a leader or you follow, right? So in my mind, you would be a leader to all those people who would gladly follow you if you could reach them and wake them up and show them solutions or better, more sustainable ways to do this. If you forgive me, I'll just sidetrack for a moment about this whole virus, because this pandemic is still kind of on. I shot a video last night, at some point recently. I shot a video that I'll soon make public after Nenad gets all the editing and stuff going. I'm so relieved to have Nenad. If you know, Nenad is like an awesome resource here in the new RSCI family. So guys, in that video, I actually said something like this. I said that first we had virus, right? It was this virus, this scary virus. Then virus turned into a pandemic, a global pandemic, which is a much bigger word and implies very different things. Then we had all those people losing jobs. Although before that we had pandemic and all the stuff that came with it, meaning people dying, thousands of people dying in each country. And it's not just our government, right? This couldn't be just them, because it's happening everywhere, right? So all those news, and then after some time, some of those news were debunked, and then we realized there were a lot of misleading information and lies and misconceptions, and people I don't say stop trusting, but a lot of people kind of woke up right there going like, who do I trust? Because problem is, when you lose trust in your government or into whoever's in charge of your well-being or whatever, when trust is gone, it's weird. It's a different state for all of us. Okay, so people lost trust and therefore lost clarity. Its confusion kicked in. Fears were already there. And what happened then? We have this the death toll and everything. But guys, then economy that was already messed up in a huge bubble for the last 50 years, I think, is this bubble that we're still waiting for it to burst. That showed up very quickly how vulnerable our society is in terms of power economics globally. And guys, I don't know who's around you. I don't know how much touch you have with other people today, but man, all over the world, and I mean literally all over, millions of people lost their job. I'm pretty sure in Dubai you are aware of this, because you can't not know anybody over there didn't lose a job, because so many people lost jobs, as in literally they had what I called, and I was warning people about this for last how many years, rude awakening is coming. I kept saying, because I figured that one day all those people who are in the jobs where they have no control over it, in other words, they sold themselves a really nice story of, I have this safe, secure job, safe salary, monthly income. You guys know what I mean? It's like this certainty is a big deal for those guys, and not aware that in that process they gave their financial future into someone else's hands, so that if shit hits the fan like it did, and company is forced or chooses to let you go, what happens with your certainty? What happens with your security and all this stuff? That was part of it. So many people had this rude awakening of like, what now? And finding out a job not very easy when everybody's actually just letting go of, and companies to a great extent, they gotta do it actually. It's one of the strategies of surviving, it's just keeping themselves afloat, because they go bankrupt if they just keep everybody. So it's not even a evil thing that they're doing. They're doing whatever choices that they're making for whatever reasons. The idea is that, though, that globally millions of people, tens of millions of people lost jobs, and people cannot buy food for their children if they don't have an income. Savings, give me a break. I don't know what statistics are, but how many people actually have savings, or how many people are living month to month just making ends meet? So hence combine all of this stuff. People are in a very vulnerable state, to say the least. Very dangerous space as well. So we're having this, people losing jobs, economies, the whole industry is disappearing, companies going bankrupt. It's very scary world if you're part of that world. Then we are having new ideas now. Winter is coming, right? And not in a way of our favorite TV show. Winter is coming, right? I'm talking about winter is coming, and that means the second wave is coming of this COVID thing, and the third wave. And my comment to that in that video was, thank God that some of us feel like we are the ocean itself. So those waves are just waves, right? Guys, death toll aside, which I don't think anybody can make any better for families who lost some people, but I think we are pointing fingers in the wrong direction. I think we are saying that this virus caused all of this. And in my model of the world, virus, as you guys know from biology, I believe, virus is not a living thing. It doesn't have an intention. It's not alive. It's certainly not running around hunting people like, there's a human, let me catch him, let me kill him. That's not the game that's happening. Okay? Virus didn't cause our economy to blow up. Virus didn't cause all those people to be jobless. Virus didn't cause any of that. Virus, if anything, it showed us our weaknesses. It showed us where things are not working, when things are not sustainable. It put a huge, some light, flashlight, floodlights onto areas of our lives where we've been making mistakes for way too long, that it's not sustainable to continue this way. As you guys know from statistics, that I don't know what statistics you have, but I'm aware that most people, vast majority of people who died from COVID were already having certain other conditions, either respiratory issues of some other sort, or diabetes, or all sorts of other things were already faulty in that system, hence why they reacted so weakly on this threat, let's say, for the nervous system. Meaning that our relationship with food, our relationship with everything really around us, including our businesses, is just not sustainable. So you can see this as a complete collapse, and God knows what's going to still happen, by the way. Or you can see this as a beautiful reset of the collective, of the global. New world is being born, but this new world will probably be better built from scratch than on top of this current one. So maybe it's a good thing from that perspective. And I really mean, if you lost somebody during this transition, I'm not saying that's a great thing, you know. I'm saying that there is some tragic losses. There are certain sacrifices that I guess nature makes when it takes over. So I'm just hoping you're not blaming the virus, because virus didn't do any of that. Virus only showed us where we are weak, where we are living lives in unsustainable manner. We are eating not food anymore. Either if you have awareness, knowledge around what is food and what it is that we are eating when we go to shopping. Okay. If we said no to those things, they couldn't sell it. They couldn't make a business out of it. Then we have our health. What do you call this? Health, medical care. What do you call this? The health industry. Health industry, my model has fuck all, and this is South African term in case you don't know it, has fuck all to do with health. At least they should call it for what it is. It has nothing to do with health. Okay, so that's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. We are dying. We are sick. We're weak. We are de-energized. It's a problem. It's a global problem. That's the problem, if you ask me. Okay, then we have businesses. The way we conduct business, the way we go about it. It's madness. It's madness. Mind you, I'm in the business as well, as in I'm also part of this capitalist, whatever you want to call it, where we earn our income. But the major transition that I see happening, and I hope you see this as good news, I believe that what's going to survive now and then thrive onwards, if we're going to live up to see this change that I'm hoping happens, you'll see businesses that are heart-centered or heart-based businesses. You'll see businesses that are running, for my master coaches on the call, value level 7 thinking. When I cannot be in a business unless it's a win-win situation. I refuse to be a part of the business where I made some money in this deal, but this guy, because of this deal, lost his home. Can't be in that business. It's not, you know, that's value level 5 thinking. So for as long as value level 5 is running the world, we are screwed. I hope that made sense to those of you who are trained on a master coach level. So when I say heart-centered businesses, I mean a business that conducts the business, and the well-being, or should I say success of his business, depends solely from how much value he added in other people's lives. When businesses are based around that, dude, that's healthy. Go make millions if you can. Awesome. World will thank you for it. Is it making sense what I mean when I say heart-based businesses? And guess what? Those of you coaches on the call, because you guys, not everybody's a coach, right? There's some people just here for self-development. You guys are in the center of it all. You're getting paid is immediately linked to how much value can you offer to other people. And no, I don't care if they take our internet. I don't care if they take electricity. I don't care if, for as long as these human beings around me, Robert, without my laptop, without my phone, take all my toys away, I have value in their world. I am a resource to other people. Is that making sense, the coach? But as long as there are people, there will be problems because of their insecure thinking, right? So I'll always have work to do. I'll always swap my coaching session. Like, let me help you to get rid of this trauma, this, this fear or whatever. Give me a chicken. My family is never going to be hungry because I invested in myself and I am valuable to others. Is that making sense? So from that perspective, it's a shitstorm. And it's global shitstorm. So you're either experiencing this 2020 as I saw some of those funny Facebook posts, somebody said something like, man, I can't believe I stayed whole night up waiting for 2020. Like when it's a New Year Eve, you're like celebrating, you're waiting for 2020. Like, fuck, I stayed whole night waiting for this thing. Like horrible 2020, right? Well, some other people are experiencing 2020 as the year of most transformation for them, year of self-discovery, year of massive shifts and awakening and different meaning of life and all sorts of beautiful things. And please don't get me started with economy. People who are struggling right now are people who were on the effect side of value level 5 thinking. people who lost jobs and have no clue how to take care of their financial future. Those people are most vulnerable right now. Okay, where every entrepreneur knows that whatever the trouble, there's opportunity with it. And if you just look for opportunities and keep your resourcefulness going on, you'll find stuff to utilize and still swim on top. I just had this chat with Nana the other day, and like, dude, this can happen. This can happen. Like, so much is going on, guys. I don't know how. I don't want to fill your head with all the, from conspiracy theories to everything else that kind of gets to me somehow. Like, so many things could happen that's unbelievable, really. Like, so far-fetched kind of thing, and yet, in my reality, it can actually happen. And I told him, dude, no matter what happens with the whole freaking world, we as my guys, RSCI, we're gonna be fine. Whatever the new game is, we're going to figure it out as soon as possible, probably quicker than most people. And then we can again lead or help others. So I figured that you guys are in a good line of business that you just can't be out of job. For as long as there's human beings around us, there's work for us. There's value in what you can do for them. So anyway, I know I sidetracked and I did say it's a major sidetrack. I didn't plan it this long. So you got to get me back into the question that you had. I hope this was useful though. I just nod or give me some feedback so I know this was not my own tangent. Okay, so let's just summarize that one, that virus didn't do any of this. I'm not defending virus, okay? But I'm saying that virus didn't do this. This is just showing us our societal global weaknesses in the way we relate to ourselves, our food, our relationships, businesses, health. Okay, so back to Anthias' question. Yeah, if you feel anger and that motivates you, that turns into a passionate, let me make a change, then great. I'm not gonna complain about that anger. I'm not gonna say, dude, you gotta let go of anger. No, we're gonna utilize that and feed your passion and let's go. Ideally not based on anger ongoingly, but if that needed to kind of kickstart your jump, that's cool. That's why it's there in the first place. And I believe that's you, because you also said, dude, I get angry, but I let go of it easily, meaning it doesn't control you. You don't sit at home being pissed. It passes quickly, but it triggers you because your values are challenged. And again, guys, values is master coach topic, master coach training. So I can't go now into all the details why values matter so much. But the idea is that you will never get in your life where you want to go. You will always get in your life where your values are at. Okay? Your conscious desires and dreams are useless unless your unconscious values are aligned with that which you want.
Oh, fucking hell. I've got to come to the master coach then.
No, dude, just think about it. If you understand that your top 5 values, unconscious, not this conscious stuff, unconscious values, the hierarchy, top 5 values are governing over 80% of all your self-initiated motivation. That's a big deal. And if your number 1 value is money and health is number 17, you're not going to be healthy. I'm not talking to you, obviously. I'm making an example, right? But if I, with surgical precision as a master coach, take that value number 17 and stick it over here, like let's say value number 2, all you're going to talk about from that moment on and think about is health, 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 health. That informs your decisions. It just tells your brain what's important in life. That's why we don't really talk about it in the coach training as one of those topics that are strictly master coach, because it comes with a great deal of responsibility. Before I teach somebody how to mess with other people's values, I figured they're going to understand this on a little bit deeper level. Because if you just wanted to have fun, and fun was number 12, and you take fun and you put it number 1, easy to do for a master coach, but dude, you don't understand the effects that will have. That guy, let's say a businessman or whatever, he's going to sell his business. He'll find a job as a stand-up comedian, or find a job in a circus, travel the world, leave his family to find fun. those changes are not to be taken lightly, if you know what I mean. So it's a full-on master coach topic that fits there, if you know what I mean. So our values are determining, guys. You know when I say the world outside of you is a mirror image of what's inside of you? Yeah. So how do I prove that to you? Well, I can go and talk to you about, I can get you to do some exercises for you to list your beliefs, your attitudes. You remember the whole self-auditing story from the personal breakthrough experience workshop? You know, you have a little insight, and then we do a book of rules, for example, and you go, hey, for me to be happy, I need this, and that. For me to be upset, I need this, or this. Or remember that all those things together give you like really good insight that, hey, fuck, this is a mirror of my life. In other words, it's the other way around. This is inside of me, and my life matches this. So it's a little bit of a aha moment when they get to become aware of that. But dude, if I was doing it differently, I don't need any of your beliefs. I don't need any of your attitudes, nor book of rules. All I really need is like, hey, buddy, what's important to you? And I find a way to elicit your values and for you to put them in a hierarchy of importance. This is the most important thing. Second, you know, to get the hierarchy of your values, that's all I need. We just do that. And I show it to you, and I go, hey, how's your life? And then you realize that this is the mirror of your life in terms of your results, in terms of what you're aware of. Out of all, guys, values are second most unconscious filter. We are not conscious of it. Who speaks about values? Never mind who speaks about values like I do and can change values with surgical precision and organize them for you any way you would prefer. So that all your unconscious compulsions and motivations are serving your conscious mind's needs and desires. That's the difference. You're not going to get where you want to go. You're going to get wherever your values stand for. By the way, that's why some of my coaches, new coaches, some of them have zero business knowledge, zero marketing experience, zero salesmanship, zero of all of that, just big heart, and they want to coach. Those guys are usually vulnerable when they start their business because they want clients, but they don't have a clue what to do or how to go about it. Okay? And here's the problem. Give it some months. Let's say they spend their savings and whatnot. They're running out of money. Guess what happens? They'll keep trying to do this thing that they're so passionate about, this coaching business, until they'll run out of money. Or let me say it more accurately, until their internal unconscious values are challenged. In other words, when values that whatever the standard is on an unconscious level says, dude, this is unacceptable. Way out of my comfort zone. This cannot continue because I need at least home, a place to live in, sleep at. I need food on the table. I need a freaking soap. You know, like when the day comes when I don't have soap, I have to do something else. Do you understand what I'm saying? So whatever your acceptable standards according to your values are, the moment you go way below that or below that, all your self-initiated motivation will kick you into the direction, and all these other compulsive thoughts will kick in of, you know what, maybe this is not a career for me. The world is just fucked up. You know, nobody's buying coaching. Whatever reasoning, rationalizations, rational lies we'll tell ourselves to talk ourselves out of our dream and then find a safe job and a salary elsewhere. Because that will provide what my values require. Sadly, I've seen this picture a few times. And I don't like it. I prefer when people do what they want to do. But unless we get our values aligned, this guy's a bit, I know I'm super specific with my language. Problem is, if you have limited knowledge on a topic, you can't catch me when I say, you can't see how specific I am. When I say that usually model of our coaching is, hey, aside of whatever awakening we can do for clients and you know, awareness expansion we can create and educate them on certain topics, in terms of modalities of intervention, or should I say creating the change, we always want to start with clearing up their past, healing their past, settling the past, whatever expression you want me to use, that needs to be healed and let go of. So the past becomes a resource, not a burden that they're carrying around, right? Once past becomes a happy place, once past is a resource, and they wouldn't even change it for any other people's past. That creates positive expectations for the future. Suddenly perceived future seems more optimistic because my past was so cool. Do you see what I mean? So we want to start by healing the past, And then this part comes in. Then we go to align the present with their desired future. And align the present, being aligned from within, which is just something you hear me say often. We gotta have our values, our beliefs, all our programs aligned with that which we desire for the future. That's where you get to sit back and relax and watch the show, because unconscious is doing most of the things anyway for you on autopilot. But this time, you can let it do stuff because it's aligned with what you want. Everything before that is this conscious push and effort and struggle, really, because you're doing it consciously. The entire 5% of your day. But 95% of your day, it does what it was always doing. But we are mostly unaware of all of that. So that's that internal sabotage that we tend to experience in any context whatsoever. Okay, values being part of it, huge part of it, but one part of it. Obviously, beliefs and other programs are still very much part of the whole conditioning, we call it, right? So let me see if I can go back to the original question. We kind of went deep into stuff you didn't ask me about, and now we went back too deep into the values themselves. So on a surface level, you can use your anger to get passionate about it, like it kind of sounds like your story, and just finally do something about it. Your values are challenged. This is not on. This is injustice. This is unfair. This is whatever steers shit inside of you. Go and do something about it if you're inspired. Personally, for me, and this is not something I want you to model, I'm just saying as another individual over here, maybe anyone else on the call, dude, I'm aware of what those politicians are doing. I heard the news. I get what's happening. I just don't have it in me. I don't think I'll change the world. I don't think I'll change the politics or governments or, I'm just going to figure out how the system works and swim within it and still take care of my family and my people, whatever that is. Like whatever different, as in no passion to go and do that, no passion to become a politician or leader in this context. Then that anger would be unwarranted and totally useless way to spend time because it just hurts your body and lowers your frequency, right? Where in your case, maybe that's warranted stuff and there's no problem there as far as I'm concerned. Okay, that was the lower level of thinking. You want to go with me, and you usually do, on a deeper level of thinking, on a higher plane. You gotta slow down for this one. I love starting this one with when you say all these other people and collective, and the first question comes to my mind is, what other people? Like literally, what other people, when all you have is the world around you, metaphorically speaking, around you, that you are aware of. Your entire world only exists in your perception. Hence, we call it perception is projection. Your entire world and everything in it is a produce of your thinking. Because the moment you step outside of your own head and look at the world where you are part of it too, all there is this ocean of energy, of frequencies, meaningless frequencies. So what collective are we talking about when you go there? See, it's very different depending from which plane you observe the question or any situation. Okay, so from that plane of thinking, what was the question? Just remind me. I just want to go back there because I could equally go straight into it, but I wanted to give you this shallow story first. Do you remember the last thing you asked me? Just to repeat the question. What was it?
Do I need to change the external collective? Do I need to contribute something to change the collective external? Or if I merely change myself, my thinking?
Well, let's observe it from this plane. Changing yourself, or not really yourself, but your programming, right? Your conditioning, which changes your perception, which translates into changing your world. So on that plane, you don't really need to go to your neighbor and argue about it or have them sign up for your new petition to do something with the government. From that perspective, all you really need to do is be the change you want to see in the world. And that means, in translation, of practicality probably means letting go of whatever burdens, heaviness that's preventing you to feel lighter, I'm messing with the words in terms of first step to be enlightened is to light up and not take life so seriously. So the idea is that if you were to raise your own frequency by cleaning up whatever's holding you back, whatever's slowing your frequency down, or whatever other people's stuff you're carrying with you still, by raising your frequency, your perception changes. And the way you perceive the world that you're describing now changes. So much so that when you change the way you look at things, as you well know, this is the statement, the things you look at change. For example, there was this study that wasn't really a study, but it wasn't an experiment either. It was this lady that was, I forgot her name. I wish I could tell you the name. She was going to prisons to do her work, you know, to whatever she was inspired to do, and she would go and speak to inmates and ideally do some healing or help them, right? So she had this exercise that I don't know stayed with me. She would take them all outside, and I'm talking about like 100 inmates, and I mean scary stuff, right? Scary people for normal people, like as in like hardcore criminals, okay, murderers, rapists, like scary stuff. And she would go, this little woman, she would stand in the middle of that outside, I don't know, call it playground, you know, outside, open space. She would be in the middle and they would form a circle around her. Okay, big ass circle. All those scary big guys usually, you know, like all these guys. She would stand in the circle and get them to play a little game with her. And she would say, well, I want you to step forward, make one step forward towards me if you grew up with a single parent. Most of them step forward. I want you to step forward if one of your parents or both were alcoholic. Bunch of people stands forward. I want you to step forward if one of your parents or both were drug abusers, you know, users. Most of them step forward. And then she starts listing all those wonderful things nobody thinks about when we judge other people. And she gives them one after another components of how people could be raised in a way that would heavily impact the child and their development. Think of it, buddy. If you weren't raised in Cyprus with the family that raised you, if you were raised in some other family where you didn't get love and attention, when you were abused and beaten and all you knew, all you knew was survival. If as soon as possible you discovered the street and found more joy on the street than at home, and then you discovered the gang, and to become a member of the gang, guess you know what the initiation is and what the process is. You got to earn your stripes. You got to earn your position there. So go and do this thing. Go kill that guy, whack him, and we'll give you the first stripe. Or you get it. So that you earn your right to be part of this other community through survival, some murder, some deeds that you and me, I would imagine, didn't have to go through. If all you knew your whole life is survival and fight for life, how could I ever judge you for what you became in terms of your thinking and behavior? How can I judge you? Who gave me the audacity or right to judge another human being when I haven't really been in their shoes? I haven't been raised the way they were raised. I haven't been raised as a product of that environment. See, so when you change the way you look at things, in this case, a bunch of inmates, would you be surprised that all of them ended up in a very close circle around her? Because she just nailed one thing after another about their childhood. As the main root cause of this problem that's in this context outside of them, because guys, I hope you know that you're a product of your environment. We all are. We're products of our environment. And when the environment is sick, we get sick. Okay? So Anthias, somehow getting back to the question, if you were to raise your own vibration, you see everything. Everything. Depending how high you go, I guess. On one level, the stuff that was negative and you were judgmental about it, and those people, you'll realize they are indeed doing the best they can with the resources they have available. I find in that statement so much depth because to me, right there, that's forgiveness. To me, that's how I easily give forgiveness to anybody, no matter what they've done. Never mind who am I to judge them to begin with, but forgiveness. Because I don't care what you've done. But the fact that you've done it means you didn't know better. On one level, mind you, there's a couple of planes always. On another plane, who says that my point of view is right to begin with? Maybe hurting other people is actually fun. I don't know. But you get what I'm saying? Even there is no, even giving forgiveness is, you're in this position to forgive someone, right? And then you make a full circle, you go, shit, I'm really just forgiving myself because my perceived reality that was constructed entirely inside of me says that this man is doing wrong. What man outside of you do this blob of energy, meaningless energy to which you give meaning based on your conditioning and your meaning making process. So yeah, on another plane, I think it's very cool and plausible path that you don't really need to do anything with all these other people. You just need to clean up your own internal world. As you change, the world changes. So don't assume for 1 second that you and me or Maria or any of those names over here in front of me are living in the same world. We have some agreements. Without discussing them, we kind of have those mutual points where we can just presuppose that we are all on planet Earth and in this part of solar system and in this country. And, you know, like our worlds are colliding, and at some places they're overlapping, but there's so many things that exist in your world, Anthias, that don't even exist in my world or someone else's world here. We're just pretending we live in the same world. And if I add another layer there, just for fun, what if I tell you, and I don't mean this seriously, okay? I'm not saying this is scientific fact. Just something to probe your thinking. What if I mention something like the idea that the parallel universes, as you know them as a topic, like parallel Earths and all those in infinity in every direction, what if we are actually, purely through our vibratory state, shifting billions of times per second different realities to different parallel Earths, the ones that are matching our current frequency? And yet the shift is so subtle you can't even notice because you're still on planet Earth, you're in the same room. Because this happens billions of times per second. If that was true, you would have the ability to shift yourself into another Earth where there's no pandemic. I don't know what I want to shift into.
But there is no other Earth.
It's just an idea. Even though you know very well that you did spend at least 10 days in my training room. And during those 10 days, all that you've been doing was working on yourself and changing your inner realities, inner programs, parts of your conditioning and your filters. And then every one of you during the training or at the end of the training realized that the world changed outside of that room. The world became a brighter place. The world literally changed for you somehow. Even though did the world really change? Or did you change? So yeah, when we say be the change you want to see in the world, that one goes way, way, way deep for me. Probably deeper than for most people, because for most people, that's a really nice statement. For me, it's way more than a nice Nice statement, that one. For me, part of this game is I'm becoming who you weren't.
So it feels very strange because I thought I knew all this, and yet you're saying it, and I'm seeing it from a new perspective. It's very strange that I haven't seen it from this perspective yet.
And that changes your world, doesn't it?
Entirely.
But your world.
There is only my world, isn't there?
There is only your world in your world.
Uh-huh.
You've never seen my world. Asma maybe have seen my world, but that's different. That's an internal joke, sorry. All you can ever see is your world because you're limited by your thinking and your perception. Much like you can't feel my pain or feel my emotions.
I can only feel my perception, my thought of your emotion, of your world.
I like
I
the way you
start,
said it because Anthias, I keep saying this. Most of the time you guys don't hear me, but I keep saying that which you're looking for, it's not in what I'm saying. And it's not in your monthly masterclass content or in my manual. That which you're looking for is not there. What we find mutual is that feeling you just mentioned, that space. And when we are immersed in that space, you get to hear some thoughts that now you can. So it seems like you open yourself up to your intuition, to fresh thinking, to insights. We call it insights because it comes from within. You tune into a channel that's always there, it's always broadcasting, but you can't hear it because you're too busy thinking thoughts you were always thinking. Think about it, 95% of your day is on autopilot. You're thinking same thoughts you were thinking yesterday. But yesterday you were thinking same thoughts you were thinking the day before that. The day before that. And seldom anything changes meaningfully. You're just entertaining yourself with some new thinking while you're conscious for 5% of your day. So we are usually just too busy thinking same stuff that we were thinking yesterday. Then when we create a space like this, this space that I call to stay in this conversation. When we are in this space, it doesn't matter what I'm saying. And this right now is different. I don't know if you were there when we started the call. We could just as well be silent, but it wasn't this space yet. Yet when we find ourselves in this space, we all feel it. If somebody asks, what are you talking about? I don't know, but I'm feeling something nice. I can't repeat or explain or whatever, but I don't have to. Because I find this to be mutually leveled that when you hear the truth, you just know it. So all I really do is point in that same direction, hoping you catch a glimpse of what I'm pointing at. And you've been there, buddy. You caught it many times. Good luck explaining it to others then, but you did catch it. You've seen it many times. Then you join me in trying to describe the undescribable. So the best way I can go about it is create a space where we can just speak from within that space. And then, buddy, we get to do this thing that sometimes we have those other conversations about this. And we say, hey, then you let it live you. I think you mentioned the last time to live it, to be lived by it. Be guided by it, or to does life lives you, something like that you said. When you're in that space, then you do that. Everything else is just noise. Our thinking from our ever so knowing conscious mind. Dude, as a coach, I realize this, it's so liberating, it's madness. All I ever need to do when I'm with my clients, I just gotta show up. I don't need anything. I just show up and let it guide me in that moment, because I create presence with my clients. I show up and I'm fully present, not with my agendas or what session should look like and what my score of success is and how this better work and I better not look stupid and is my hair all right today? You know, like, I don't have any of that noise when I'm with people. I learned that when I'm with people, how to be with people. And if it works on a call like this, man, it works one-on-one in person too. I just show up and I give them a gift of my presence, whatever that is. I'm fully present, and conversation happens. And I never know where conversation is going to go. But conversation happens. And because I'm not busy thinking, the right thoughts apparently come through me. Sometimes you hear me on those calls, I tease, I channel Robert. You know, like I'm not talking to Robert, I'm channeling Robert. Like, they're just teasing, right? My geeky self. All I really need to do is show up. When you just show up free and liberated from all those other agendas, you get to hear it. You get to be present with the person. And in that moment, you'll know what the right thing is to say. You'll be guided from within. But making a training out of this is a challenge. Hey guys, on this training, we're going to become really awesome coaches. And you will learn how to do nothing with clients and just show up. You know, like, I'm still working on that pitch. When I'm ready, I'll actually make a training out of this. It's just that my scientific self needs to formulate things in a remotely plausible manner that it is transferable and logical. Well, it already is in my head. Maybe I'm way closer to it than I think I am. Anthias, would you come for training like that? Oh, no, wait, you're already in it.
That's what I was going to say.
I think it's called masterclass. I'm hanging with Robert once a week. God knows what's going to happen and what we'll talk about, but it looks like that every call, there's only one agenda. The content is a distraction. It's amusement.
Oh, shit.
As long as I feel content comes through. There's some virtual hugs over there. In case you can't see Reem's camera, because that probably looked very weird on my own. And look what happens with time when you have those conversations. What is the time? This is 1.5 hours, I think. Okay. You know what that means? That means we're way over time for whatever standards I committed to. I'm kidding, guys. I'm good. This is... See, when you get into this space, the noise disappears. Who cares about what's waiting for me? That's so in the next now.
Robert, hi.
Okay, Reem. I bet you have something for Anthias, because this is becoming another pattern.
No. I was lost in that conversation.
Well,
okay, so
you may be feeling lost, while some of us found ourselves in that conversation. Accidentally, just by being. Please continue.
okay, so my question was from last time about the workshops. So you mentioned that we have to put 3 things in every workshop: the why, the what if. and
Oh, you mean
you
the
asked
question
me
you were going to
to.
ask me on the previous call, but we ran out of time? Is that what you mean?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, cool. We can go there. Sorry, is that it? Is that the one? Okay. So watch now from this shift from this quality of conversation to some content conversation. Okay. Before I go there, Anthias, did you, because I wasn't dismissed by you. Are you okay? I don't know if I answered your question in a useful way, or are you good now? Can I speak to Reem, or we're not done yet?
I don't want to be done, to be honest.
Done. What was that?
I don't want to be done. That's a nice.
I know the feeling. Sometimes I just wanted to like keep going, you know, for it to last longer.
If there's anything I've understood.
Yeah. What did you hear? Before we go, what did you hear?
I don't have to do anything apart from undoing certain things. If there's anything to be done, it's undoing. And fucking hell. Oof, pardon me. Everything externally is a mirror of me, of my emotion, of my perception, of my state of mind. And I know this sounds ridiculous after 10 years of my first participation in coaching, in your coaching center.
10 years.
It's almost embarrassing, but it's not. For the first time, I've understood that every single thing that I see is me, or how I see it. I have full control over it, everything. And all I really need to do is feel or think the thoughts or feel the feelings, raise my vibration inside. Everything is inside to live the life that I want to live outside. And you're probably sitting there thinking, yeah, man, that's what I've been fucking talking about. That's what it says underneath my emails. Find what you seek. I hope you say it.
That which you are looking for. No, wait. Now you fuck me. Hold on. It's in every signature of mine. Dude, I'm so gone now. Hold on. May you find what you seek outside, inside of you.
And it's
The signature's been there for her. Eh?
And it's already there. You don't even have to seek for it. It's there. It's now. Isn't it?
By the way, guys, if you ever got any email from me that I sent from my computer kind of thing rather than those broadcasts, next time just check the colors, because I sign it off with "Create a wonderful day." Then Robert Simic, and then my website, and then it says, "May you find what you seek outside, inside of you." But the only two words that are in red, Anthias, are "create" inside.
Whoa.
Check in any email I sent you in the past, and you'll see it differently.
Oh God. That's great. That's okay. I'm done. My hands are up. I surrender. So.
And obviously hold on to your insights, because it's only your insights. Can't give you an insight. And I doubt we're really done, Anthias. Not by you, me too. As in, like, dude, I still have those moments. I go, and I get it, but like for the millionth time. But this time I really got it, And I just got it so many times that I lost track of how many, if you know what I mean. So it's not get it. But enough times I got it that I learned or concluded, generalized that I don't think there's an end to it or to getting it. It looks like there's always more to get it, or to go deeper, if you know what I mean. So keep that lead open for the next round.
Okay.
As in, you got what you got, and it's amazing. It's the feeling. In fact, you also mentioned the feeling, and maybe for the first time, let me give you another distinction. When you know I'm specific with my language, don't you? When I say emotion, you know what emotion is. Emotion is a chemical that your brain produces. Yeah, it's a chemical. Feeling is something else for me. Feeling is kind of a unity of your thoughts and emotion in a moment. And that feeling is that frequency we could measure in terms of what are you emitting out? How are you vibrating? That feeling I get when I'm in your presence, right? That vibe that you're emitting out, that's where your law of attraction and those things kick in. That's what you're attracting, buddy. Whatever you vibrate as, you see, that's not a chemical. It's a vibration, that's a feeling for me. I wish we could end the call on those notes rather than where I'm going to go now. But since I last time also ran out of time, I didn't speak to Reem about the thing that she really cares about. If you would, let me switch the tone slightly and share with you something that I don't know if you have the capacity to process this now. But if you do or watch a replay, this will really be useful to some of you. Reem was asking me a little bit of a business question, like how do I create content? Let's say a workshop. How do I communicate effectively whatever it is that I want to communicate? And this is again master coach training topic. I don't think I ever taught it outside of master coach, unless you find me in a school setting where I'm volunteering, helping teachers teach better, as in communicate more effectively. Excuse me, that sounds better. So we all know that people have different learning styles and they need different sequence of how they process information. Are we going to see it visually? Are we going to do auditory stuff? Are we going to involve our hands and build something together? And that's how I learn. You know, there's different learning styles, okay? And this format, take it as a gift from me to you as a part of a master coach training. I said to Reem, I'm going to make an exception, but bring the question in, and she's bringing it in. So let me give you a short version of that. If you want to communicate to someone and influence them effectively, meaning for your communication to actually be heard, understood, so communication actually happens, right? You would want to start a conversation by working on their state. Okay, don't give me a bunch of theory, don't give me science, I don't care about any of that. I need to know, why am I listening to you? I need you to answer to me the question, why should I listen? If you can successfully engage me and share with me, why should I listen? And I buy into your proposition of why should I listen, you will have me hooked emotionally. And when you have me hooked emotionally, you'll have all my attention. If I need to bring you back into the training room and I'm going to teach you, let's say, swish pattern of all things came to mind, just notice how every section of my training starts in this format, by the way. I would say something like, hey guys, how would you like to learn? And then I go, a model, a technique, whatever I'm teaching that would allow you or enable you to do this, and that. So if you go, hey, coaches, NLPers in that section, how would you like to learn a technique that will help you change clients' habits, as in like replace the old habit for a new one, this desired one, in under 10 minutes? What happens with anybody who's remotely interested in the topic or see value in what I just said? I get them emotionally hooked, and they go, whoa. If somebody was talking to them on the side, they go, no, wait, I gotta hear this. Is that making sense? What I mean by, tell me why should I listen? Sell it to me in terms of get me emotionally invested in listening. So don't talk to me until I know why am I listening and what do I do with this information. So you want to start with the why, okay? Once you feel they're hooked enough, And by the way, this also happens in the group's context. You also see that same training. I go, how would you like to learn this that will enable you to do blah, blah, blah? And bunch of people go, yeah, that will be awesome. Like, let's go. But some are still chit-chatting on the side. They kind of didn't hear everything I said because of the conversation, or they deleted, distorted, generalized, or what I said just wasn't strong enough for them in their world. In their model world, that's not important. Does it make sense? I'm still not teaching it. I go again, well, if you learn this, you can also blah, blah, blah. I'm still selling it. And then when I feel that whole room bought into it and I can start teaching, that's when I do it. But you, in that process, you'll see those guys, especially if that was you, if on the first question you went, oh, I was waiting for this one, go for it. You know, like if you were ready from the word go, and then I'm still selling it and still selling it and still selling it, you may go like, dude, get on already. It's like, it's almost like I'm going to lose you because I'm not starting yet. Is that making sense? I mean, I'm justifying now, so you're understanding next time you're doing refresher, you see this all the time. You'll know exactly what's happening. I'm not going to teach the rest until I sold it to you first, and to all of you ideally. Okay, so work on my why, work on my state as the first piece of content. Work on my why. Only then you get to switch into the what section. Okay, next section is what, and this is where your theory comes in. This is where your content comes in. Whatever it is that you're teaching, whatever it is that you wanted to tell them. Okay, in context of switch pattern, I would first give you all the benefits of why you would want to have this, and when you really bought into it, I go and teach you. I teach you that all the content around this, how this works, nervous system, we need the trigger, when this happens, you know, do this. I'll teach the whole content around science of why this works, or pardon, how this works and what the whole thing is. From there, I will switch to the next stage, which is the how. Okay, how, meaning, hey, either how do I do this, depending from the context of what you're doing or presenting. But in my training, when I explain you how this works, and it still sounds too good to be true, I would then tell you how. It's like, hey, let's take a script on page 17, and we go step by step through the how to do this. So I give you all the steps, makes sense. We could even have a little Q&A there. And part of how as well would be the demo. I would even demo what I just presented to cement in the teaching for you to see it coming together. It's still part of the how. Only once you come back from your own exercise, as the how part, still in the how section, the whole demo, and you do the exercise is still how. Then from there, you come back to me. Even though before you ran out of questions, chances are now you do have some questions. And chances are that some people whose learning strategy is not completed until they tell you what they learned. Some people need that. They need an opportunity to tell you what they understood. And only if they were having an opportunity like that, only then they'll go, I got it. So it's part of some people's learning strategy. So I need to create room for that. So I often switch into that section by saying something like, hey guys, what did you learn? What questions do you have? What do I need to know? So if there's any questions, we cover them. And I call this what if section. Okay, that final section is what if, as in, well, coach, what will happen if my client does this? Well, then this you do. Or, hey, coach, can I use this technique in this other situation as well? That's also what if section. Or, like I said, also people who need to tell you what they learned, they'll tell you just what just happened with their client and how that went. And you go, great, you know, and they'll give themselves permission to close the learning strategy and feel that they learned it. So I use that format for every content that I consciously create. I use that format. All my presentations, my entire training is split in chunks of information, right? Every chunk starts with this format. It's always presented in that format. Why, what, how, what if? Okay, now really that's like technical part now in terms of what I wanted to share. Do you have any more specific questions of how to apply this specific content for your purpose?
We were discussing at that time that if I'm making a flyer for that, do I need to mention all these? I mean, like, what do I need?
Flyer is different from doing a obvious. Flyer is different content or type of content comparing to creating a whole section when you're teaching something, right? So and still, well, here's a good strategy. how about this exercise you do? There's some information that you think you want to put on the flyer. Is that true? There is some info that you know should end up on your flyer. So how about this? Write the flyer content-wise, write it out, put the sentences on a piece of paper or in a computer, and just write it all out with no regard to anything I said today. Okay, write it out. This is all the content that I want on my flyer. And then all you do, you make 4 other pages or 4 quadrants, however you want to play with this, and you go, okay, this sentence, you just read the sentence, one of them, you read it, and you go, okay, where does this belong? Is this why? Is this what? Is this how? Is this what if? You determine based on the content of the sentence which quadrant belongs to. It belongs to. Let's not say quadrants because you don't have this picture now. So think of another 4 pages. Imagine a page, it's empty page, it says title is why. Next blank page, what? Next page, how, and then what if, right? 4 blank pages. You take your content and you go, hey, this first sentence says this. Which page should it end up on? And if it's not on why and it's the what, then you take that copy or cut rather and paste it onto this other page. So take all your content from your imaginary flyer and put it in the right pages. Each sentence goes to its own rightful place in terms of this. And then do another brush and start from why, what, how, what if, and present your flyer in that sequence. This format gives you the right sequence to present any information, any content. You'll notice that my ads would start with a question, trying to touch upon an emotional thing. So from business perspective, those of you guys doing your own ads and things like that, you would want to know who you're talking to. Mind you, if you put me in front of my VIP clients, all these highly ranked business people, like super clever guys, if I have 10 of them in front of me, my pitch for anything, whatever I'm selling, whatever content I'm presenting, workshop, is very different from what I would do. Let me give you a contrast. If I had 10 teenagers in front of me, same content is coming after I sell it to them, but the pitch, the selling would be very different. Okay, so that first section, let me give you some deeper insights around this. When you are thinking, what question should I ask, or how do I sell it to them? How do I get them emotionally invested? Then piggyback on the topic. I'm not sure if you were here from beginning of the call, or I just show you camera later on. We talked about values a little bit, I think, me and Anthias. Rehash that content. It's master course stuff. Okay, so please realize that you should always pitch your stuff and poke their values. When I poke your values and sell you on your values, stuff that's important to you, that will get you emotionally invested. So back to the drawing board in terms of, hey, who's my ideal client? Because once you have super clarity who these people are that you want to talk to and touch with your flyer, you don't want everybody to go for this. You want specific people to go for it. So the more you know about them, the more effective your communication becomes, because you know their pain. You know what to rub in. You know that if you say this, they can't ignore it. They're going to go, what was that? Because that's important to them. Because they'll be emotionally invested in that conversation. So we always start with, why should I listen? If I'm your client, invisible ideal client, I'm sitting here saying, pinch me, tell me you know my pain and poke it. I can't ignore you if you know where my wound is and you stick a finger in it. It's hard to ignore you. It will interrupt any conversation I'm having, including me browsing my Facebook feed. That's what we want to do with ads. Nobody goes on Facebook to see ads, right? Well, I do sometimes. I'm studying other people's ads, but the idea is that people go on Facebook to browse through the feed and see what their friends are doing, even though Facebook is making it increasingly difficult to show us any free content from our friends, right? They want to show you ads. So while you're browsing and really minding your own business, I need to interrupt you in that behavior with such a strong first sentence, title, pitch, question, that the only chance I can interrupt you is if I get you emotionally invested. So let's say something that you don't delete the story and journalize. Oh, this is not deleted. This goes, attention, look at this. You can do that when you know your audience. You know what to say. So I say you know what to say, I mean you know how to get them emotionally invested to pay attention to the rest of your content. So think of it from that angle. So one more time, write everything you want to say. Have 4 blank pages. You can do this digitally, right? You know, save the trees. You can have 4 pages, blank ones. Each one has a title: why, what, how, and what if. Then take your content and just take this sentence, goes there. This sentence, this is how, goes there. This sentence, so just put it in the rightful places. And then that's the sequence of your presentation. That's what you say first. That's what you say second. That's what you say third. That's the sequence to do it. That format gives you the right sequence to communicate. All right, I hope this was a nice bonus for you guys who haven't studied this stuff, because I know it's priceless. I just don't know what you heard, because I had my little tantrum of going to schools, speaking to the principals of schools and getting them. You guys, it's funny when you gotta beg them to give you an hour. Usually it's the other way around, but they don't know what they don't know, and they never heard of me. And who was I anyway back then? So I was like, hey, I've got a, I've got something for you teachers. And I hijacked one of their regular meetings. They put me in front. No, worst crowd ever, guys. Nobody paid to be there. They have no clue who I am, and why are we wasting our time on this versus whatever burning agenda and stressful thing is for them to discuss with their whole team, right? So there I am, little me. Nobody ever, they don't even see me in the crowd, and I need to quickly get their attention. So different audience, different questions, different pitch. So me saying, hey guys, let me show you how to teach kids effectively. Do you really think I'll get much traction there? I would if they were resourceful, but they weren't. They freaked out. If you see who's teaching our children, you'll be worried too. I'm sorry, teachers. I know you're doing the best you can, so I don't even envy you. I wouldn't want your job, trust me. Okay, I'm just saying, if you can see how much stress these people. Watch this. One of those meetings, I remember I went, hey guys, what's your biggest problem? Like what is the biggest stressful thing, or what's the biggest thing in your world that needs our immediate attention? Stress. That was the first thing that comes out from every angle over there. I'm like, great, and you know how sneaky I am. I'm like, great, so write it down. Stress. Tell me, guys, what are the main causes for your stress? What are the causes of your stress? Kids. They shout out, I promise you. Children, kids. They're losing their mind. It's not easy to work with those little buggers, okay? So you can imagine the rest of the conversation. The moment you tell me that the cause of your stress is outside of you, you know where that conversation is going to go. Okay? Or we could have one of these conversations where I take that page from my Master Coach manual and say, hey guys, you're doing it wrong. I don't say it this way. I'm just saying, I pitch it to them that kids have different learning strategies, and we teachers, we tend to, and I'm a teacher too, we teachers, we tend to teach on our own strategy. We teach in a way that if somebody showed us this information, this sequence, we would just go like, duh, like makes total sense. So when we teach on our strategies. Even from coach training, you guys know about strategy. So we teach, we give love the way that if somebody did this to us, we would feel loved, so we give love this way. We teach that way too. We teach in a way that it makes sense to us. Okay. Even though they all know there's, I think, 7, 9 different learning strategies that people have, and they're just mismatching each other. How would you like to have, here's the pitch now. Teachers, how would you like to have a tool that enables you to present information in a way that regardless of their learning strategies, nobody in the room has ADD and they're all paying attention and want to learn what it is that you're teaching that day? Guess what happens in the room? They want to learn that. It's impossible, but they want to learn it. And I showed them the same format I just showed you, and that's my contribution that day. I don't charge for it. It was my contribution to the teaching sector of our world. I had a little agenda of let me help them because they're really doing it wrong. And I did my piece, and it usually went very well. Whether it sticks, whether they did it for 3 days or 2 weeks or 1 day or never, I'll never know, I guess. As in, it's not like I went there and became part of the school and getting feedback. I just gave some knowledge with a great intention, and I choose to believe that some of them did something with it. Yeah. this format is priceless when you want to communicate effectively. Okay, cool. So guys, given time, I'm gonna go. Reem, can I go? Are you good? All right. Guys, thank you for, yeah.
Can I
Jamil,
20 seconds of your time?
sure, go.
Okay, I sent you an email, but I don't know if you read it or you didn't read it or you
Ready
got
right
it.
now? No, but do tell me. I'll look for it, but tell me. Guys,
Yeah,
it's
no,
impossible for me to see all the emails. I keep
yeah,
excusing
I
myself,
know. I
but I
just
do my
want to
best.
know
If you're a
if,
silver member, I get to see that it gets marked differently, and I tend to see most of them. But hey, it can still happen. So tell me. Okay, I'll look for it in the background by your name,
yeah.
but you can tell me.
No, I just wanted to share something. I just wanted your thoughts on it.
Okay,
See if you have anything to say. Move
dude.
forward.
Let me be very kind, or not. I don't know if it is kind or what is it, but I typed search Jamil and there was a couple of emails, history, whatever. But the latest one was sent on 29th September, right? Is
Yes.
that okay? And guys, this thing is on my screen right now, and I have a BS screen in front of me. Okay, this email is this size. Even if I saw it, chances are I wouldn't engage reading it. It's just it would take me 15 minutes, dude. I'm partially teasing. If guys, if I see your name and I feel like I know you, I'll engage with it. You know, I'll at least skim through it, and when there's something important, I mark it. I read later. I'll come back to you either on the call or I'll come back to you in an email in like a written format. But it's super difficult for me to write emails. It's most time consuming, if that makes sense. So I prefer having those chats on this call. It just makes more sense. Plus, it's real. It's real time and stuff. So Jamil, please forgive me. It's in front of me now, but I never seen it before. It just never got into me.
Okay, it's fine.
Wait, let
I
me.
I just wanted to make sure it went through.
Just one more thing. I haven't said this in a long time, so let me just say it. Technical stuff. If you're a silver member and you want to write me stuff and you want my attention, make capital letters in the subject line, silver masterclass member or masterclass question or anything that's very hard for my eyes to undistort, if you know what I mean. Your title was, they say good things come in threes, and to me that's next to spam, as you're like, oh, my eyes
Yeah.
never registered that I can tell. Go ahead. Now we're here, so let's see if it's 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to see if it went through. That's all.
Oh, that's all. Okay. So what now? You're gonna tell me about it, or you're like, dude, read it eventually, because chances are better right now for you to tell me about it.
I think it'll take a while. I mean, read it, see if it's
How
any.
about this? How about this? Bring it to the next call. I'm more than happy. I'll read it in front of everyone, like I did Kim's, and we'll discuss it if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. But show up so you can trigger me, remind me, like, hey, there's a question there. I'll mark it now here so I can easily find it. Okay, you know what? I'll even copy the whole thing and put it in my notes. How about that? So I'll just say here masterclass. And then when I start, hey, I have some questions. Here's one. But do remind me in case things change. All right, awesome.
Robert.
Because I'd love to conversation with you.
Robert.
Okay, I'm reframing. So guys, last comment from Karla, meaning before I hang up. Yes, Karla?
Oh, okay.
I just dropped you a small email as well.
Oh, wait, Karla, Karla, your hand was up, but somebody else was on, I think. Am I tripping? Shireen, okay. Crap. Shireen, talk to me because your voice was there first.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, I'm about to release my videos. How do I get them to you? Because you wanted to see the, the transformation videos.
What transformation videos?
You know, like every single day I was recording a reflection and you said you wanted to ask them.
Of course. Yes, that's you. Yes. Of course I know. I would
How do I
love
send them
to.
to you?
Tell me. How about this? Send me an email and make it capital letters like, what do we say? Say masterclass, because that gets filtered here differently. Say masterclass feedback. That gets
feedback. Okay.
Okay. Something like that. I want to see it. I so want to see that. I promise you. I really want to see it. Awesome. Cool. Beautiful. Guys, during the training, she was making like a video log, a vlog, blog. Blog is like in video, it's vlog. Okay. Anyway, she was making video bits almost like every day, a little bit about her transformation today or whatever. And it's so nice and so rare for me to be able to go back and go, hey, let's see day one. When she came to the training, whoever she was, whatever she was on about, and how that was shifting every day, kind of thing. And whatever the last one is, I'm more than keen to see. You know, it's like before and after, but like documented real time. It's I don't have many opportunities like that, so I'd love to see that. Thank you. Please send me that email. I'll watch it, like, I don't know how today, but I'll watch it very soon. Okay. Karla, please go, or I mean stay, but tell me, what did you want to comment quickly before I hang up?
Okay, I just dropped you an email because I proceeded with what we discussed last time. That's it.
Okay, cool. No. Okay, I know what you mean. Yes. As I said, yesterday, I was fried in terms of tasking and things that are happening. So I was a little bit, let's call it, I was just super busy, really. Okay. So I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you very quickly. I'm coming back to you. What I actually want to do is schedule a call with you. So we'll do that. All right. So guys, I love you. It's been real. I really like Anthias. Please show up for every fucking call. I want to talk to you, man. I want to talk to me when you're here. Guys, I love you. Anne, good to see you, because Anne couldn't make it for this call. And guys, you know, Anne takes all those wonderful notes that I really hope it helps when you filter which replay you're going to watch and what to skip. I don't know. I think it's super useful. Okay. Even though I don't do it, but I think for some of you, this would be super valuable. So Anne really almost like sacrifices herself to some extent, not being fully present in the call and just taking it all in. She's partially busy taking notes and stuff for your benefit. She's not paid for that either. So I'm just saying, I want to really give her credit for that.
Thank you,
and today, guys, yesterday, she emailed me and she says, Rob, or she actually did some other form of communication. Let's forget email. Email is my last freaking place. Not the best way to talk to me. So guys, she says something like, Rob, I was on every call you ever did with Masterclass for last like year and a half, or, you know, like every call we ever did, she was there. And then fairly recently, last few months, maybe she started making those notes and stuff. And today this was the first time, because of family or some other things came up, she couldn't make it from the beginning of the call. And she's like, what, like, you know, like not freaked out, but more like I don't want to let you down. And I know, you know, all this stuff. I'm like, woman, you're insane. Like we are so grateful for it. But if you're not there, you're not there. Like, you know, it's like crazy to expect anything from you to begin with. And she was so convinced. She said, dude, if you just send me the replay right away, I'll go through the whole thing and take the notes and stuff. So it's such a beautiful heart, this Anne from Ireland, who I also met like freaking decade ago on one of those trainings in Ireland that I did for like 6 people or 5 people. How many were you on your training? 5 people, 6? I forgot. 5. Imagine that. That's an intimate training. 5 people in front of me. I was like, I forgot now, obviously, how much money I lost on the training in terms of the ad spend and all the stuff that comes with it. But 5 people invested what they needed to invest. They did their part, and they organized their children and took their leave and committed to become this coach thing and whatever dreams they had about this training. And somewhere inside of me, I figured I gotta show up for them. It was cheaper for me to postpone, refund them, and that's it. Instead of going to the training and venue and hotel and flights and everything else that comes with it, I would lose less money if I just apologize and refund them. But I couldn't, didn't want to. I showed up and it was 5 of them, and it was a crazy training. I still remember some pieces of it, like a decade ago. Wow. More than a decade. Anthias says he's a decade. And how long? When was this? Which year was this?
2010.
That's a decade, full on. Mm-hmm. Crazy time. Time flies, they say. Flies, disagree, but guys, I love you. It's been cool, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Yeah. Wow.
Thanks, Robert.
Ciao. Let me see if. Nah. Okay, cool. I almost made another silly comment. I'll stop recording.